Alright guys, let's start this cybernated tour. Alright man, let's how should we start this? Ooh, let me see. Why don't we just start with this? Why don't we start with this corner over here?
Oh, okay.
So why don't you just tell us about these moss thingamajiggies?
Well, they're preserved moss, so you don't maintain anything. These are just like wood patterns that hot glued moss in, just different types of moss. They're preserved, so they will always look like that.
Oh, I see. So they're not alive.
No.
Oh,
So
I
they
see.
used to
Okay.
be live moss, but they're preserved, like, I don't know, with some formalin or something. So you buy them at the craft stores. They stay green forever, no maintenance at all. Because I'm not gonna spray moss on a wall that doesn't get natural light. And no, we're not gonna do that.
I always thought that they were alive. I have been fooled this entire time.
No.
They feel.
They feel like I still smell some moss. Actually, the cats would, when I put them here, they would sniff on the moss because it's still like real moss.
Right. It doesn't feel like fake plants at all. It feels like if you touch it, it feels like it's alive. Like if you told me that you watered these every day, or if you told me that
You'd believe me?
Yeah, I would totally believe you. If you told me that they were alive and you had to care meticulously for them, I would totally believe you.
No, because I believe they used to be like real live moss, but they just like preserve them, dry them up, and they would still look like this. That's why some would have all those real brown bottoms, because they used to be like real moss sheets.
They look great. They look great.
Just preserved.
So is this formalin and fake too?
No,
I'm totally joking.
No, this one's real, but I took there used to be like a real water feature there, but I took the plants out, so it's just, this one is fake. I mean, this is a preserved amaranthus. So this is what like the florists use.
Oh.
And they're preserved. Like these ones are like fake moss. This one is also preserved. These are real ripsalis, real syndapsus. I should probably get rid of that feature because it's not cute anymore.
Is there a different place to get preserved stuff versus like fake or artificial stuff? I didn't even know about preserved plants till now that you've told me about them.
Yeah, in your craft stores they come in bags. It says like preserved reindeer moss, or this one is like sheep moss. So the reindeer moss would come in different colors. This one is just like styro, I believe. These ones are like plasticky moss that are not preserved. So these are just accents that I hot glued in.
Okay, then let's talk about your bio orb.
Yeah, let me turn on the smoke machine. Well, yeah, my bio orb has been planted for a while. Occasionally, I add more plants. The moss inside are all real, so they're alive. None of those are fake plants. See, there's some yellowing, some browning, and even some mushrooms that have been growing. But I've added some beneficial insects. I think I have some springtails in there.
Okay.
Those brown, and I even added a worm inside. I don't know what the worms are doing now. I hope they're still alive, but maintain a little ecosystem in there.
And how often do you have to do anything for this?
So it is on timer. It is on 12 hours a day. It depends on how you set it up. All I need to do is like fill the tank of water on top here.
Oh.
So there's a tank of water.
Oh, here. Okay.
Yeah, so you could just refill that.
Oh, okay.
There's like a grow light situation. There's a fan that will provide aeration, and that's it. I mean, at night, I like to spray it with distilled water because the cork doesn't really stay moist, and I have some shingling plants in there. So
basically, super minimal maintenance.
Yes, but with a lot of reward.
Right. Wow. So just the humidity and the mist is enough for the plants to have enough water.
Yeah. And the medium that it's in is in cocoa coir, so it does retain the moisture. It's still a bit airy, and when I disassembled my previous arrangements, the roots were insane. So the plants were loving that medium inside that thing.
I mean, very. That looks great. It doesn't look real, right? It looks like a fake setup. Yeah, it seems really, really rewarding to have something like this. Good job, man. Good job. All right. Okay, let's talk about your whatever this shelf thing is. This has got to be like I feel one of the most famous shelves on Instagram.
Yeah, this is my string of hearts waterfall. Established since 2018, so it's been going on for a while. The only things that stayed actually permanently were the string of hearts. For a while, I have like I had some spider plants here. What else? I had some Ripsalis, but now I converted everything to like just all my Ripsalis collection, and then half of it will be the string of hearts varieties. That's the Ripsalis Baxifera. I think this is a Compost Portuana. This is a Baxifera. I don't know how they're different, but there should be like 40 something species. This is a Paradoxa. This is a Paradoxa minor, but I forgot the real thingy, but it's a thinner form of Paradoxa. This is just your regular green string of hearts. People call this the Orange River, but it's just my grocery store string of hearts that I found at the grocery store. The normal green again, another grocery store string of hearts, and this is the Ceropegia linearis. I imported this back in from Poland a few years.
Is that a rare one?
No, I mean, fortunately, they've been growing them locally. I see them every now and then. But for a while, we didn't have them here. I imported that from Europe back in 2000.
This is, you said, is the common grocery store one?
Yeah, that's, Lucky's, right? Yeah, I Lucky's. But people call it like the Orange River one because it's like lighter green.
I'm amazed about what you can do with quote unquote common plants. We have a pot up there. What is this? I would say about 4 feet.
Yeah, 4. At some point they were like 6 to 7, but I learned how to chop them already.
Okay.
Every now and then. I got the longest string of hearts from Mickey's, probably this long and not that thick. And it only took like half a year for them to grow this long. Once you really give them that good skylight situation without overwatering them, they'll just grow on their own.
I always thought that a problem that people have is that the leaves towards the beginning starts drying up or falling off.
And I do get that, but what I do every now and then is once they're like naked at the top, I twist them on the pot, pin them down, cover a little bit of soil so that only the fuller things will be left.
So
that's what I keep on doing, just twirling them. And fortunately, sometimes they grow new stems out of those naked stems, like the bald spots at the top.
That, I can't believe, I've never even thought about that being a thing. That's genius.
Well, because I would usually cut them and reroot them and plant them back again, but I'm like, I'm just gonna twirl this and then cover it with soil. I used to bobby pin or cut some garden wire and then pin them slowly on the soil, but
jeez, that's genius.
That way you can keep them looking full without cutting your plant or having to risk restarting everything and losing everything.
I like how great of an aesthetic and impressiveness you can get out of something like this, and it just took some time, it took some creativity, and it just looks so impressive. I mean, it's hard.
Thank you.
It's hard for even non-plant people to not be impressed with this, right?
Thank you. Well, I think you just have to be creative. So imagine this wall with just being this wall, popcorn texture, and I was like, it's getting some light here. I mean, we're fortunate that we get this skylight situation, which is, I believe, southwestern facing, so it's kind of strong in the afternoon. So I'm like, why not put
maximize
a string of hearts, cover this up so I won't see it, the cats won't get to the trail, so it's kind of practical, beautiful, easy at the same time.
Super nice. Okay, so let's why don't we check out this wall? So this one you decided to do strings of other stuff.
Yeah, like more of the trailing philodendrons or the Syndapsis ones, the bigger.
And
mean,
this one, this wall seems to have a lot less light. You don't have a ceiling light, right?
No.
And
Most of the year, it just relies on the light that's bounced from this sliding door situation in front.
Yeah.
And the ambient light it gets from the back windows.
Yeah. So not. I would say this is a very low light
Mm-hmm.
situation, and yeah, I think if people can hopefully appreciate how low the light really is.
And they're very tolerant with low light.
So this is your light, your primary light source, and right. So I would say very very low light, and they're doing so well. Okay, so you have a.
Well, I think this is a pothos trend, golden pothos, a micans, a green cordatum.
Oh, whoa! Let's talk about that green. That looks awesome. That looks so good.
This is the regular cordatum. The leaves became smaller through the years, but yeah, I mean, low light situation. What do I expect?
Right.
This is a neon pothos or neon epipremnum, your golden pothos again. I mean, we all started with the basic plants, and I still love them.
Right.
Like, I've never been a snob. I mean, I appreciate more hard to find plants now, but I still appreciate the beauty of the OG plants that I started with, you know.
The OG
Yeah,
plant.
things that I bought from big box stores for
Right.
like $15 that I got super excited that I found a full basket of them. You know, those are still,
Oh, I remember those days when you would like go
when you
to a
walk
box
into
store.
Orchard, when Orchard was still open, and I'm like, oh my god, there's an 8-inch pot of a trailing pothos that I could put on my wall.
Right.
And those are like good memories to cling on to.
I agree.
We have some Philodendron Brazil, the neon cordatum, pothos again, another neon cordatum, marble queen.
Oh man.
Oh, that one is a Syndapsis pictus argyraeus. The smaller one, this one is an exotica.
So this is the smaller one. Is what you said?
The Syndapsis pictus argyraeus. I'm probably saying it wrong. So at some point it already reached the floor, but it's still, I chopped it up, but it's still alive. I don't know.
Oh, this is great. I resonate with what you said about like the joy you get from the big box stores when you can find like a full box of these. Lots of joy, very little stress. And then I compare that to a lot of people's experiences with rare plants and imports, you know, and it's just like your imports get wrecked, the roots get wrecked.
I'll tell you about the imports. I'll show you the imports. But these are your easier to care for, easier to find, won't break the bank kind of plants, and they're very rewarding.
Oh, yeah.
All you need to do is like find your feature wall that you want to showcase them. I mean, because of the low light situation, they don't grow too fast, but they're alive, and I won't have to overwater them, and they're probably still alive because I can't get to them as often as I can.
I mean, gosh, I'm looking at this wall of plants that probably cost you, what, less than $100, and look at the statement, look at the joy, you know, look at all the growth. It's really, really impressive. And the needs, right? Very minimal needs. This is the darkest part of your home, basically.
Yeah.
And then on top of them,
those are my monsteras. So that's my first Amazon purchase plant.
this monstera to the left. Yeah.
Yes. Actually, it was just one big 6-inch pot. I recently divided it into two because it was getting too huge. So I repotted it. The one in the middle is like a mature cutting that I got a few years ago, and then it's now a full regular plant.
Oh, it's funny.
So that's just like my Destiny's Child moment, because the middle one is Beyonce, the other one's Kelly and Michelle.